And we are live. Welcome to Body, Mind, and Nutrition tonight. We are so excited to be here. Super psyched. And we are coming together, the three of us, to offer you all some beautiful information to help you thrive through the holidays today. I am Coach Linda. We've got Leanne and we've got Kiana on, and we are going to be doing some introductions to let you all know who we are and why we are here tonight live sharing this information with you. So to kick it off, we're going to start, since we are calling ourselves Mind, Body, and Nutrition, with the person that represents the mind piece of our which will be Leanne.
Hi. If you haven't met me before, my name is Leanne, and I'm a local Newport News yoga instructor, yoga therapist, an energy worker. And as Linda so eloquently pointed out, I will be offering the mind portion of our offering tomorrow, Friday at 4 p.m. at Fit Vision, which is on 9910 Warwick Avenue. It's at the end of Hilton. And if you haven't visited Kiana's place, that is Kiana's Place Fit Vision. So that'll be where our event takes place. And then I'll be guiding you through a couple of different ways that you can incorporate your mindset and shift your mind, different mental clarity, mental relaxation, mental creativity, and how all of these are really important in finding wellness, not just through, physical body, as Kiana will be guiding us, but also through our gut and nutrition, as Linda will be guiding us. And then I think that there's some audio issues now.
I hear it. Okay, ladies, so let's put our earbuds in and let's see if we can get rid of that noise. So all three of us will have to wear earbuds in order for this noise to go away.
Okay.
All righty. Excellent. You guys hear the noise?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't hear it either. All right. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you for that great introduction. And Kiana, you are up. Kiana represents the bottom portion of our presentation.
Yes, so I am Kiana Brinson Clayton. I am the owner of Fit Vision, Faith, Initiative, Tenacity. And I'm bringing the body piece. So fitness doesn't have to be complicated, right? It doesn't have to be hard. It's all about movement. So my piece that I'm bringing is for you guys to move, to just have an opportunity to use the 7 primal body movements that we constantly use or should be using on a daily basis. And thank you for joining us tonight.
All right. Excellent. Well, we have my faithful husband on. So ladies, send a shout out to David. He's watching us and has given us a shout out. Hello, ladies.
Hi, David.
Thanks for coming out.
Well, I am Coach Linda. For those of you that do not know me, I am an author, a doctor of theology, a juicing master, and an herbalist. And tonight I'm bringing the nutrition piece of our conversation. I want to talk to you guys about being healthy through the holidays and having an open mind this year about, as we go through the holidays, how you can keep a healthy gut and a healthy body, especially with COVID. We definitely want to make sure, since COVID seems to attack our immune health, which is in the gut, that through the holidays, we want to focus on maintaining that healthy gut. Yes, we're going to have our Thanksgiving meals. We're going to have our Christmas meals. But I'm going to be offering some tips tonight to help you stay healthy during that process. So you can have fun, you can eat your meals, and you can, at the same time, make sure you protect yourself and your family and stay healthy. So I'll be covering that piece tonight. So thank you guys for joining us. We certainly appreciate you. And with that, we'll go into our presentations. So Kiana, you want to kick it off tonight, sharing your piece?
Okay, sure. So so talking about the body, right? So I just wanted to just kind of share with you guys that women over 40, which is most of my clientele, women over 40. And so three things that we all need over 40. And actually, this can go for anyone below 40 as well. So there are three things. The first thing would be flexibility, it would be strength training, and cardio, right? So those are some of the things that I like to do in my trainings when I'm training people. You guys just excuse me, I'm just coming back in from a training. So I'm kind of all over the place trying to come down a little bit.
That's
But
okay.
but those are the three pieces that I bring. And again, as I mentioned in the beginning, fitness not being complicated. We don't have to make it complicated. And it's not always about coming in and lifting heavy weight and doing all kinds of crazy burpees and things like that. So going back to the primal, the 7 primal body movements, right? So the first one we have are squats, which we do these every single day, whether we know it or not. Everybody's squatting, right? When you get up from your chair and you sit back down, you're basically performing a squat, right? How
Did
many
that a
times a
million
day?
times.
Yeah, how many times a day do we do that, right? And then the second one would be lunging, right? So those are what our bodies do. We lunge, we move forward, and we move backwards. We lunge. The next body movement would be push, right? So we're always pushing things. We push things away from us. And then the next one would be pull, and we pull things towards us. Another movement would be twisting, right? Rotation, right? So if we're turning this way and reaching for something, we have that rotation. We're getting that rotation, twisting back and forth. Another thing that we do, this is number 6, is that we bend, right? We bend over. We bend over to pick things up, right? We bend over to, do a lot of things, to sweep, to clean, whatever we're doing, sweeping up trash, we bend. And then the final one, which we all do again, is gait, which is walking, right? We all walk every single day. We use our legs and we walk. So those are some of the things that I like to incorporate into the sessions that I give people, right? And within those 7 primal body movements, there's also what's known as the planes of the body. And they're different planes of the body. The first being transverse plane, which we talked about, that would be the rotation and the twisting. Okay. And then there's the sagittal plane that we talked about, which would be the squatting, the up and down plane, right? And then there's the frontal plane, the plane that we don't tend to use a lot of, but when we were kids, when we were younger, we always used a lot of this side to side movement, right? We always did a lot of running back and forth like this. So the frontal plane is our side to side motion. So those are the things that I incorporate into my workout. And that's why tomorrow I'm going to be bringing like a functional workout, functional movements, right? We're going to go through all of these 7 primal body movements, the planes of the body, and then we're going to bring it all together into one 30-minute power packed workout, right? How does that sound?
That sounds
good?
great.
Excellent.
Okay. So I talked about the 3 things that we all need, being the flexibility, the cardio, the strength, right? And then another piece, of course, which kind of segues into what Linda does, is the nutrition. A balanced, healthy diet is always key, right? We always need to have our protein. Protein is always in there. Our vegetables are always, in there to have. Cut out sugar. I'm just going to put that out there. Sugar is just not, it's just not the best thing for us, right? So the less sugar we have, the better. And those are some of the things you just want to be mindful of. Without taking up too much more time, I do want to go over a couple of points that I had here. Just some things to think about, and a couple of sayings, a couple of quotes. The first one being, nothing happens until something moves. And that's by Albert Einstein. Nothing happens
very
until
yogic.
something moves. Yeah, right?
I'm like, dang, that's
Yeah, I
deep.
know. Leanne
It's
would
very
like
yogic.
that. Leanne would like that. Nothing happens until something moves. And that basically speaks for itself, right? During this holiday season, you know, it's so easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle, to kind of just eat. And sometimes we just kind of sit down on all of that. But really, we should be moving. We should get our bodies to move. I'm also going to be bringing tomorrow a glycogen depletion workout, right? So it's going to get out all that gunk, all that stuff we got going on, maybe sugar if we've had it. We're going to go through some movements to do that as well. The other piece is, or quote, that I just actually heard yesterday. And the person said, people need to participate in their health and not rely on a vaccine, a pill, etc. Right?
Say it.
So we all need to participate in our health, right? Because mostly, and this is basically kind of my quote coming up next, people don't consider their health really until they're sick, right? No, you don't
So
really
true.
think about it until you're sick. So why not start today, get a jump start on 2022, right? And start now, you know, get a jump start on the holidays, start now. Let's participate in our health. Let's move to make something happen. And let's consider our health before we get sick.
Yeah, be proactive.
Be proactive.
Absolutely. And empowered.
That. And empowered. And empowered. And that.
Well, I love what Kiana said about cutting out sugar, number one. I'm going to talk about that. So
Yes.
I'm going to bring more value to that when she talked about cutting out sugar and offer some ways to do that. I also like what she said about the proteins and the vegetables and having balance in our diet as we eat. I just had a conversation just yesterday with one of my clients. She had 4 turkey sausage for breakfast, and she had a bite of something for dinner. 4 turkey sausage and a bite of something for dinner. Now, that was not protein. That was not vegetables, right? And this is what I'm saying typically with my clients is that they're not eating enough and they're not getting that balance that Kiana talked about. They're not eating the protein. They're not eating the vegetables. They're on the go. They're in the drive-thrus. And it's affecting their gut health. And so, you know, I find it interesting that she talked about having that balance with protein and vegetables. And just yesterday, I had a conversation with one of my clients who's not eating enough. Not eating enough, which is typically what my clients are experiencing. They're on the go so much that they're just not taking the time to sit down, nourish their bodies, provide themselves with that protein and those vegetables, but they're eating that sugar. The sugar is probably is higher than the protein and the vegetable, which is just not good for gut health. So I'll be talking some more about that. So while we're waiting for Kiana to come back, why don't we go ahead and transition over to you, Leanne, and get you into the mind portion of this conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, Kiana brought up a lot of really great points. One of the points being, you know, that she closed with was, hey, welcome back.
Hey, welcome back.
I don't know what happened. I just blanked out.
That's okay. You're back.
Yes, you're back. Welcome.
So we were talking about the portion of your introduction where you talked about making sure we get balance in our protein and our vegetables. I was sharing with everyone that I just had a conversation yesterday with one of my clients who had like 4 turkey sausage for breakfast and a bite of something for dinner. You know, she didn't get her protein. She didn't get her vegetables.
So I heard you. Yeah.
Oh, you did.
So I heard that part. Yeah. I heard that part. What I was going to say is, well, she kind of did get her protein with the turkey sausage. That's protein. Probably not the best protein that you could get.
Yeah.
Because it is, you know, processed meat.
Right.
Right. So, yeah.
And then the balance that you talked about, making sure that we have that balance piece. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I hear from my clients, they're not balancing their daily eating out at all. They might be in a drive-through 2 or 3 times a day, or even 5 times a week. They're in the drive-through at a fast food restaurant, and they're not getting that vegetable piece, right? They might be getting that
Yeah.
protein, usually loaded with carbs
Mm-hmm.
around it. And so I love that you brought that piece up.
Yeah, and it's so simple for people. Like, if you really want to like lose weight, because normally that's what I hear. Usually that's what I hear. Weight
Mm-hmm.
loss, weight loss, weight loss, right? And I always kind of say I'm not a weight loss coach. I'm not in the business of that. But if that is something that you want to do, then you have to consider your diet, right?
Yes.
And the simple thing is tweaking it by just eating more protein and vegetables. Protein
Yes.
and vegetables. That is going to get you, some of the weight loss that you're looking for. So, yeah, it's
Yeah, I
important.
think
That
one of
actually
the
comes first
one
before
of the
any of
biggest
the
myths
movement.
out there that people have is that they can eat whatever they want and lose weight from a magic pill, right? And that's so false. Everybody's looking
Yeah,
for that magic microwave pill or that fast way to release pounds or to lose weight. They might be losing weight, but they're not doing it in a healthy way, right? The body might
right.
be dropping pounds, but what about their muscle mass, right? What about what they're putting in their mouth? Are the protein, the vegetables there? And is the balance there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds
And also,
really cool. Go ahead.
no, I was going to say, also, you can change how you eat based off of what you're going for. So like if you're training for a marathon, you're going to eat differently than if you're training for, a bodybuilding competition, than if you're training for a
Absolutely.
triathlon, so there's so many different ways that the gut comes into it, right? And how we nourish
Absolutely.
the muscles and the body and
Mm-hmm.
the organs and the functioning, just like functional movement, functional health. Like it doesn't have to be complicated, like you said. It can be so
Exactly.
simple and
It's so
part of
simple.
your routine. Yeah, it is simple, right? You just eat. Eating is relatively simple. They try, life tried to make that part relatively simple. It's just about being mindful and educating yourself about how to do it. Turns out
Mm-hmm.
eating is simple, but how to eat well is hard.
I was going to say, Leanne, yeah, great point, because you're right. Eating is simple, but that is the hardest part that I find in,
Hardest part.
training and being a certified
The
personal
food.
trainer is the eating part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because it's tied so much to pleasure.
Yeah.
There's such a deep relationship that we have to food and flavor and texture, but also to our body, and how, and the relationship with the food to the body could be totally different than the experience of eating.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's an interesting point that you bring that up, because Thanksgiving is usually surrounded by food. Everybody's
Always.
talking about
Absolutely.
food and what they're bringing and what we're going to be eating and all the desserts we're going to be having,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yes.
So even though it's a holiday about giving thanks, it really has come to a point where people focus a lot on the food more than anything else. And a lot of foods that are being eaten are comfort foods.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing, it's like you don't want to deprive yourself. You want to be able to
Right.
enjoy, certain foods.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it goes back to, moderation, right? So
Yeah.
Thanksgiving's coming. Yeah, I'm going to have me a little bit of macaroni and cheese. I'm going to have
Yes.
me a little bit of sweet potato pie, you know?
Absolutely.
But I know that I can't continue that Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even though the leftovers are great, but I can't continue with that, right? So moderation, everything done in moderation. Yeah.
And Kiana
Mm-hmm.
Davis says you can't follow your clients home to see what they're eating behind
I
doors,
know,
right?
unfortunately.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately. Unfortunately. But you know what, David? What I can do is when they come in, and their performance will show what
Yeah.
they've been eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. How you feel
Yeah.
your body is how you then present and to present back out. That energy is equal exchange.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a great point. And with that, over your portion of the presentation, Leanne?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Kiana, one thing that I want to tie back in as we segue into this next part is you said that you want to invite everyone to participate in their health, and I think that that's really important because the mindset that you approach your journey with is everything. Like everyone can tell you, oh, you need to change your diet. Oh, and you can say, oh, I want to change how I'm living my life. I want to, move towards X, Y, and Z goals. But if you don't move towards it in any intentional way, then it's not going to manifest in any intentional way. And
Yes.
I just spent 2 days in a research symposium, and well, there was many interesting things, but one of the really cool presentations that was offered was this research that was about basically reaffirming just how important the experience of the individual is in their healing process. And like, yes, it's important to have, physical strength. Yes, it's important to nourish the body well, but if you're missing this connection to self, if you're missing this connection to community, if you're missing this this pathway into how to conceptualize who you are and how you're moving, not necessarily, not just rather in those seven different movements, right? But how you're navigating, intentionally in each of the spaces that you're in. How, when you go to the gym, are you being mindful about your energy there? Are you kind of just wandering around and hoping that one of the machines joins you and helps you move? Sometimes I've been there. That's why I say that. That's a personal story of mine. Or, are you, when you're approaching your food pantry, have you put good ingredients in there? Or are you just hoping that when you open it, you're going to be nourished well? You have to really put your foot in your own door. And just like Kiana, you said, you really have to participate. And that's why the mindset is so important. And science is really, really beautiful in that now there's so many more ways that we're understanding just how important mindset is, and just how complex our journey is, and and despite the fact that it is complex, just to say that there are very simple ways that we can shift in big ways. So, Kiana, you mentioned the 7 primal movements, and you mentioned offering your clients, a functional space. It's not necessarily about weight loss, but if that's where you're going, you have the tools and the know-how to guide them in that direction. But, just in what ways can we now have simple tools to get into the right mindset? Well, one is the breath. So everybody has a breath of some sort, whether it's short of breath or you have a really deep breath. If you're an opera singer, you're going to have a totally different breath than if you only walk 1 mile a day, which is still plenty, right? But so just by tapping into one breath, we say it all the time, oh, take a deep breath, pause. So maybe we all take a deep breath and pause right now. So maybe you shake out your shoulders, get the body in, open the mouth. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale. Open the mouth. And 1 more time. Inhale. And exhale. And dang, already something shifted in the mind, right? Like your perspective is a little bit different. And so really, really simple ways, simple movements, functional movements. Here's a functional breath, right? If you're in the middle of a workout and you're overwhelmed, you're going to need to take a deep breath at one point, right? Your body naturally wants to do that. Maybe when you're beginning to notice these moments, the holidays always come fast, right? Like, oh no, did I buy the right ingredients? Oh no, did I, this person's coming, I need to prepare this. Take that deep breath. change the mindset. The mindset doesn't have to be a big, huge, dynamic, profound shift, right? Profoundness can come later, but a change can be so tiny, and that can be enough. So one way that you can change that mindset is the breath, and the other is, another modality that I do is a vibrational healing. And one way that I like to think about vibrational healing is how we think, because of the synaptic impulses is a vibration. All of our cells and metabolic processes create vibrations within the body, which create a resonance within our body. Yeah. And so how we begin to think, the words that we say to ourselves is also really important. And there's a really cool, I know I don't know if you're familiar, but there's a relatively old research project from Japan in which different words were written on petri dishes that had water, and all of the water started the same. They were from the same place, and they were divided into different petri dishes, and then each of the petri dishes were had a one word written on it. So maybe one had love, and the other had joy, and then the other had hate, and the other had anger. And then they left them in the same environment for a week, and then they went back and checked the water crystals, and sure enough, all of the water crystals had altered, but the way that they altered was shocking, because love, the water crystals were like snowflake beautiful. And then joy, so different from love, but equally extremely beautiful. And then when it came to anger and hate, there was mold and dark matter growing in the water, in the same water that came from the joy and the happiness water. And that, this was just plain old water in a petri dish, not even infused with the synaptic impulses of life that is each of our human existence. And so if you imagine just how many words flow into our minds, and how many words we hear, and how many words are spoken to us, whoa. Yeah. And then when we talk about
that's really deeply, and I'm very familiar with water, and how water, when you put it in a certain environment, or if you take the word love, I actually wrote the word love in magic marker on our pitcher, our water pitcher, and put it in the refrigerator, just so we can have the vibration of those love crystals as we're drinking that water and taking it in internally. I love your concept of how you're saying that, how we're thinking is affecting us as humans on a vibrational level, right? If that word love can affect water, it can affect us as humans positively, or if we're saying hate, negatively, right? And I don't think that a lot of people are conscious of that,
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you think just how much of our bodies are water, we're basically just water sacks wandering around in fashionable clothes.
You should drink more water, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so one way that you can change the vibration in your mind, you're going to have a whole lot of, inevitably this time of the year is stressful. And so there's going to be all kinds of thought processes. So just like pausing and taking a deep breath, maybe you find an affirmation for yourself. And it doesn't have to be complicated. Usually I have one like, I'm so fierce, like my cat. Because my cat can do anything, and he's so tiny, and he does all these incredibly crazy stuff, even though he knows he's doing wrong. And I need to sometimes channel that.
Yeah.
And so the unabashed fearlessness.
I like that.
And so maybe that was a little long, right? That's kind of a long one. But that one was mine. But maybe you have something like, I'm strong, or I'm here, or I'm okay.
Yeah.
And then you say that to yourself, and it's not necessarily about like, do I need to believe that or not? It's again, think about it more like putting a vibration into you.
Yeah.
It's more like this was your little supplement for the day.
Yeah.
And even one vibration of that can be enough change that mindset enough.
I want to share, we had an event this past Saturday at the Holistic Fair here in Newport News. And on the table, I put 2 affirmations. I put, I am focused on the right, and I am worthy on the left. And we had more people come over to our table and comment and say how good those affirmations were on the table. It drew people closer in to our table, just having those positive affirmations. We need that as a human race. We need to be reminded how great we are.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely.
Just something as simple as those three words. I am focused. I am worthy. People, they just love that. They would come over and say, that is so good. Thank you for putting that on the table. Or they will make some type of comment on it, because I believe that it just helps to remind people, when you share affirmations, or you might affirm, like I went to Tropical Smoothie today, and I said to the person behind the counter, how are you? Yeah. Just stopping to acknowledge somebody, and to, they're in the middle of a transaction. I'm a customer, but how are you? Just acknowledging a person. You're affirming them. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's powerful.
Yeah, and I'm giving them my undivided attention. I'm just checking in. How are you doing today?
Yes.
That's an affirmation. Affirming by checking in with somebody. How are you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
100%.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
And then I want to add one last thing to segue into, Linda, your section. And that one last way to shift mindset is to re-engage with the present. And one way, there's many ways to engage with the present, right? Via the senses is one. You can use the senses, any of the 5, to engage in the now. Taste being a powerful one. And so we, again, to tie back to what Kiana said about, or maybe it was Linda. Anyway, we all said it about comfort food, right? There's this really particular tie to flavor. Yeah. But that being said, one, go enjoy that Thanksgiving dinner. There's nothing wrong with a Thanksgiving dinner, right? So go into it with a guilt-free mindset.
Absolutely.
So that you can fully enjoy, because you know what? Fully enjoying a moment like Thanksgiving food is so important to nourishing the rest of your journey. Giving yourself time to celebrate is important.
Absolutely.
And yes. And so, use that as a way to reconnect to who you want to be and who you are and who you're connecting with,
Yeah, we shouldn't deprive ourselves, right? We don't want to deprive ourselves, because then what do? We overindulge.
Yes. Yes, that is so true. Very wise. Yeah. I'm glad someone said it first.
Right. It's no fun.
Yeah.
No
but
fun.
It's important to remember, like, oh yes, like,
and
when, yeah. Go ahead.
Kiana.
Oh,
I wasn't saying
hear you. I'm sorry. So yeah, I was just going to say, yeah, absolutely, it's no fun. But I wanted to say, Leanne, going back to what you said about breath. Love it. Because also, I instruct Pilates, and Pilates definitely all breathing as well.
All
and
breathing.
Just something about, like we just did that, right? Taking a deep breath. Yeah. And just breathing. I mean, it gives your muscles oxygen. It helps you keep going. When you're working out, Linda, I'll say inhale, exhale, but yeah, breathing is such a big part. So thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah. And then I want to tell you the quote that made me, your Albert Einstein quote made me think of. So your Albert Einstein quote was, what was your Albert Einstein quote? Can you repeat that for me?
It is, nothing happens until something moves.
Yes. And then this made me.
Did you hear it?
Yes.
Yes.
This made me think of a quote from a sacred yogic text where that says, when prana or energy moves, the mind moves. And so when we talk, Kiana, you talk about movement, but there's all kinds of different kinds of movement, right? So there's like physical body movement, there's mental movement, and then there's like gut movement, right? That's another kind of, that's body movement too, but a different kind. And that movement is important in all of these aspects, and that the breath can be one way to facilitate movement in all of these aspects. Breath can facilitate movement in the mind, in the body, in the gut too. Like when you're having indigestion, if you're having an anxious moment, you're not going to have a good time digesting. If you're not having a good time digesting, you're going to have a really hard time physiologically, maybe even emotionally, right? And then those that have conditions like IBS know just how important having the right mindset and the right internal environment is, and then and how the relationship goes both ways. And so I also, the last thing that I'll say is that we each have three different ways that you can tap into your health, and that when one needs a little bit more like oomph, the other two can be pathways into that oomph that you need. And and this is just science. The vagal pathway shows us that there are many pathways into relaxation and optimal functioning, or optimal being relative to each person, but and that that the breath is the pathway to all of those. Anyway, I end there, and then I pass the baton to Linda.
That was awesome. That was really awesome. I like Kiana. I like the breath piece because you can use that even after the holidays, right?
Yes.
You're in traffic,
absolutely,
and you're running into maybe a little bit of congestion. Just take a deep breath and know that it's gonna be okay. You're gonna get to your destination, but maybe a deep breath will help you push through that traffic a lot more eloquently, as opposed to with resistance. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
That was awesome. So I'm going to talk a little bit about nutrition. I want to talk about how through the holidays you can make sure that you keep your gut health in order. If nothing else, COVID has taught us that we have to take care of ourselves, right? And mainly our immune system. We want to make sure that as we go through this holiday and we indulge in our different comfort foods, and we have our family time and our gathering time and our shopping time where we're out and we're on the go, that we're keeping our gut health in order. It's really important for us to do that now with COVID out, because COVID attacks the gut. And if your gut is not healthy, you can catch COVID. And so what I want to do is I put together 3 simple ideas, if you will, that you can use through the holidays to keep your gut health in order. And one of the things that I use in our home and with our clients to help us keep a healthy gut as well as a healthy body is celery juice. And I actually have some sitting here. Celery juice. I don't know if everyone's familiar with celery juice and how amazing it is.
It's so yummy.
You're familiar?
I'm familiar, and it's yummy, and I love it.
Well, a lot of people don't say it's yummy. That's the first thing they ask me is, what does it taste like? And I'm like,
sorry, I can't say that.
But most people think that celery is a vegetable, but celery is not a vegetable. It's an herb, and it's an herb that heals your body. And one of the things that I do with my clients is I encourage them to buy a juicer and start juicing their own celery juice, because celery juice is a great detox, and you can drink it. It's so mild and gentle, but so potent at the same time. You can drink it.
Potent.
It is. It's incredible. You can drink it every day and experience the benefits of a detox on a daily basis. So what I did was I put together like 3 little simple detox ideas that I want to share tonight as it relates to I'm thinking about Thanksgiving, right? Most of us are going to be gathering with family, with friends, and we're going to be eating maybe some things that we don't eat a lot. But you're looking forward to eating it that day because you don't eat it a lot. Maybe your aunt's favorite pudding, or your mom's favorite stuffing, or my favorite red velvet cake. you know so I want to just encourage you some things that you could do to make sure that you have your fun, but at the same time that you keep your gut health in order. And I usually suggest to our clients to do a simple detox right before Thanksgiving. It could be a 7-day detox where you drink a celery juice every morning for 7 days, right? And that's going to promote healthy gut. And it's also going to clean out your gut. Or you could do a 3-day detox, okay? That's where you have celery juice every morning, 3 days in a row, right before Thanksgiving, right? Before you eat breakfast in the morning, you want to have your celery juice. Or you could do a 1-day detox. These are for my folks that really just can't take the celery juice. Let's just get it in your body.
Yes.
Me.
Like Kiana's allergic to celery.
I can't do it.
She's like, nope.
It tickles her throat and causes an allergic reaction. And some people might have that reaction to celery juice. I have other options for that, and I can offer you a 15-minute consultation to recommend something other than celery juice if that is the case. But I usually suggest that you do a 7-day, a 3-day, or a 1-day detox with the simple, potent celery juice. Now, I will say, one of the things that I love about celery juice, the fact that it's 99 cents a bag. Yes, I said 99 cents. The price has dropped. It used to be $1.29. Believe me, I watched the price of celery juice.
And, I was like,
The price has dropped 99 cents.
Exciting.
Okay.
Good news.
Not only is it simple, not only is it potent, but it's cheap.
Yes.
Okay. And it's a great way to start the morning and to start the day, right? Detoxing your body and focusing on your immune health. Okay. And so that's the first thing I suggest. Choose a 7, a 3, or a 1-day detox prior to the Thanksgiving holiday. Let's get your body ready for all this food that you're going to be eating by purging it from what's sitting in your colon right before the holiday. Okay, that's the first thing. Now, the second thing that I suggest you do the morning of Thanksgiving, or the morning before you're going to eat all this heavy food or comfort food or sweets, is drink a lot of water. Wake up, grab that bottle of water, and try to get in at least 4 bottles of water before you sit down at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, whatever time y'all eat Thanksgiving dinner. And just like Leanne said, we are a walking bottle of water.
That's way more pleasant than what I said.
In fashionable clothes.
So let's start that Thanksgiving morning with just giving our body lots of liquid, lots of water. Water is so good for you. It's excellent. Excellent for your body. And now I would add to that for my folks that are really courageous and really want to, like Kiana said, participate in their health, right? Is follow that water with a 16 ounces of celery juice the morning of Thanksgiving. Right? You know that you're going to eat and you know that you're going to have some fun, right? So why not start the day, Thanksgiving morning, with some celery juice? That's what we're going to do in this house.
I love it.
And then the last little tip, which I think is brilliant. Okay, now that you've enjoyed yourself on Thanksgiving, you've had all of your favorites that you haven't had a while, right? Is the day after Thanksgiving, kick into gear that 7-day, 3-day, or 1-day detox, right? So you can drink 1 celery juice every morning, 7 straight days. That's for my folks that really are getting their bodies ready for that new year, right? A 7-day detox, or you could do a 3-day detox, right? And certainly the last option, but not least, is a 1-day detox. You've eaten all that food, and now let's take a moment. Let's drink 16 to 32 ounces of celery juice, and let's get all of that comfort food that you've eaten. Let's get it out your body quick. And the celery juice will help you do that. Now, I haven't even begun to talk about the benefits of celery juice. I've really just been focusing on the fact that it helps to detox your body. Now, a lot of us out there, and I'm talking to you, if you are diabetic, you have high blood pressure, you're experiencing some type of fatigue or anxiety, right? Or you're having sleep problems or acne. All of those conditions are really prevalent in our society right now. And it's because our bodies are not in a state of homeostasis. Homeostasis means your body is healthy, it's vibrant, and it's alkaline, right? If you've got symptoms like diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, your body is not happy. And it's usually related to what you're putting in your mouth, right? Our food is our medicine. And if you're not putting the right foods in your body is manifesting a symptom in the form of some type of condition. But what celery juice does is it helps to alleviate those conditions and put your body in a homeostasis state, a healthy state. So what you want to do is you may start detoxing your body during Thanksgiving with celery juice, but what you want to do is incorporate celery juice in your body on a daily basis consistently. And in our home, we drink celery juice every morning because going back to Kiana's point, you want to be proactive about your health as opposed to being reactive. And what celery juice,
Absolutely.
when I learned about celery juice and I learned the benefits of it, I said, why not? We're going full speed ahead with this for the rest of our lives every morning. Now, it's a huge commitment making this juice every morning, right? It's a huge commitment. However, I help my clients because we sell it and we offer it. We bottle it fresh the morning that they purchase it. But the goal with our clients is to get you juicing your own celery juice and giving it to your whole family, right? You can buy it from us a couple times, taste it, see what it's going to take for you to start making it. But eventually, the goal is to get you to juice your own juice in your own home for you and your family because the benefits are absolutely incredible. And so, so let me pause there. I know the ladies might want to chime in a little bit. What are you guys' thoughts on what I've shared?
Leanne, I'll let you take this one because
No, I love it. Yeah, no, it's very exciting. I'm also a huge celery fan, and not only is it like a huge, it's beneficial for detoxing, but it's a big anti-inflammatory, and that's why it's also going to be so important during this time because like all the things that you're going to eat, well, maybe not all the things, but many things that we're going to be eating are going to be inflammatory foods, which is okay, right? Like it's fine. But now we have ways via We3 to combat that inflammation because where there's inflammation is where there's going to be illness. So, and that's really what we're trying to prevent. Again, we're trying to be proactive. And it like illness can present itself in very many ways. Like it could just be like inflammation of the gut. And I say just, but that's a really serious health condition, right?
It is.
And there's varying levels of that health condition, right? There's IBS, then there's Crohn's and lupus, and there's so many, right? So many where the gut, it becomes so important. So being proactive about inflammation is really important. And how we can be proactive about inflammation is taking care of the body, taking care of the gut, making sure that what's going in and coming out is serving that purpose. And then, of course, like making sure that your mind is not stressed out, because you can do everything to the body, but then it has to go out and do stuff. And that's where the mind is important. I mean, it's all important. Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yay, celery.
So I was going to, yeah.
Celery.
So yeah, I really wish that I could drink celery juice. I really do, because the benefits are just great. But I know, Linda, you said you had some alternatives for those of us who can't
Absolutely.
drink it. So
you always have to have options. You have to have options in life. And so the first alternative to celery juice for a simple detox would be sea moss. Sea moss. We're doing the best we can at Sweetheart Mitchell Collection, which is our business that my husband and I offer health and wellness products to educate our community on sea moss and the benefits, because a lot of people still don't know about it. People are still not informed on how amazing it is. And sea moss does offer amazing detox capabilities. We partner with things like bladderwrack and burdock root, turmeric, chlorophyll.
Ooh, I like it.
Spirulina. Recently we've added pineapple, which is great because it has fiber, helps to just clean out your colon. But I would say sea moss is another detox option for you to help you get on that journey to detoxing your body. And sea moss is 100% organic and all natural. And it usually takes on the flavor of whatever you add it to. So it's easy to get down, and it comes in a pill or it comes in the gel form. So that's another detox option. The other detox option, since I'm a juicing master and I love juicing, is to do a juice cleanse, right? Put some cucumber, some spinach, a little bit of ginger and some lemon in a juicer. Run it through that juicer. That's a great morning detox. Cucumber is amazing.
I like that.
I love cucumber.
I can do that.
Body and cucumber is wonderful at just getting you started, and it has this nice and refreshing flavor to it. I love juicing. I've been juicing since kids were babies in their 20s now, and juicing is just an incredible way for you to not just detox yourself, but also the kids, because you can do a nice carrot and apple juice for the kids in the morning. Right? They don't always have to have orange juice. They can start it with a nice carrot and apple, or just the apple, and a little bit of lemon in there. So many variants and ways that you can play with it to give them variety without all the sugar. And I will say this, and then I'll pause, is that the flavor between orange juice that's been run through a juicer and the orange juice that you buy in a carton at the grocery store, totally different. Totally different flavor.
So different.
The orange
it's so much yummier.
It is. It's so much yummier. It's fresher. It's cleaner. It goes down
so clean.
It doesn't have all that. It doesn't feel like it has all that sugar in it that the one in the carton has. And that's one of the things that I do with my customers. I say, taste this, and they taste, and I'm like, that doesn't taste like the one I usually drink.
What's in the one I usually drink? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So those are just some detox ideas to answer your question, Kiana.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I love cucumber, so I can definitely do that.
Cucumber is amazing.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Not just for your eyelids.
It's good for your belly too.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So I know we were talking about gut health and things like that. So I wanted to just ask you, Linda, about you know, I know a lot of people talk about prebiotics, probiotics, you know, that also help the gut microbiome. So
Yeah,
what are
absolutely.
your thoughts on those?
Yeah, when I was in my 20s, I used to take the probiotics that you put in the refrigerator. You guys probably know those. They're in a little capsule, and they're great for helping to digest food. I took them because I needed help digesting my food, so it didn't sit in my colon. And one of the things that the celery juice it has the probiotics in it. So it helps to digest that food and move it out of your colon so it's not just sitting there. And the great thing about it is you can have food that's been sitting in your colon for years. The celery juice will come in and break it up. It will come in and break it up
Wow.
and move it out of your
Exciting.
colon. That it's extremely exciting to me. This
Very
little
exciting.
99-cent bag of celery
Man,
juice.
I wish I could do that. I wish I could do it.
Now, so since you can't do the celery juice, you can do the sea moss. The sea moss has some of the same effects to your colon. It's going to clean you out. One of the things that I love about the sea moss is that it has those 92 minerals in it. So those 92 minerals, as it's cleaning you out, is putting those minerals in your body. So you're going to notice more energy. And that's one thing that I notice with the sea moss that I don't notice with the celery juice is that the sea moss gives you the energy because of those
Energy.
minerals. Yeah. Yeah. It's putting those 92 minerals
Gotcha.
in your
Keyword.
body.
I need that. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I'm checking to see if we have any questions from anyone. Let's see. My husband has hung in there with us. He's still on. He said inflammation is real, Leanne. When you talk
So
about
real.
inflammation and you brought that up, I mean, you know, my husband is a former athlete, so he has inflammation in the body. And for those of you that don't know what inflammation is, it's when your body is inflamed on the inside. And when it's inflamed, it usually results in some type of pain or some type of medical condition, you know, like fibromyalgia, which might have inflamed all over your body. So you've got pain all over your body. And so, you know, my husband suffers from that. And that's one of the ways that our business started, me trying to help him, just get rid of the inflammation in his body. So he was so uncomfortable using everything from essential oils to juices to sea moss, just to try to come up with a way to provide him with some comfort other than taking a prescription. We haven't even started talking about and the synthetics that are in prescriptions and the side effects. That's a whole nother topic that we can do, the three of us. Right?
Yeah. Whole nother can of worms.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah,
that would take a
absolutely.
whole nother at least
Yep.
1 hour.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Minimal.
Yes. Yes, right? Oh my gosh.
No, I say we should come back and do that. I mean, because, even for us, we have a lot of clients that are on prescriptions, and we tell them right up front that, no advice that we offer you is meant to replace what your medical doctor has, told you to do or to get you to stop taking medications. We want to supplement what you're doing, and we always suggest that they consult their medical doctor prior to taking anything that we offer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's why I got into yoga therapy, because I wanted a holistic and collaborative way to approach healthcare that resonated with things that I already was doing in my life. So then I went out and became a yoga therapist, and now I'm trying to help people avoid building that inflammatory response in their body. Stress. Stress response.
Yes.
So, oh my gosh. And that's a whole nother topic too.
It is.
Right?
It is.
Oh my gosh.
Especially with this COVID.
Definitely.
I went to the store today, and the mask that I had, it was a brand new mask, and it was too small. So I'm walking around the store, and it kept popping off my ears. That was so stressful to me because I knew I had to keep it on. But it kept popping off. And
You're like, I'm trying to focus.
I didn't have another mask with me, and I'm like, oh God. So I had to hold it up.
You're walking around.
Just the stress that we have, that's been put upon us in our society as a result of going through this COVID. That's a whole nother
Absolutely.
topic. I think we should come back and talk about offering some tips, how to relieve stress and anxiety in your everyday life.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. One thing I wanted to mention, ladies, I don't know if we mentioned this or we went here or maybe just touched on it briefly. Another important piece that I always tell my clients is, okay, so we're working out, we're eating right. Are you resting? That's my question to them. Are you resting? Are you getting enough sleep? Right? Yeah. Sleep is so important.
So important
to your wellness journey.
Important.
So important to your wellness journey.
Maybe even the most
I'm
important.
To the choir, I would say.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
that's where your body
to the choir because sometimes I don't get the rest that I need. Right?
Mm-hmm. Oh.
But what were you going to say, Leanne?
Oh, I don't remember. But I will say that tonight's the full. Yes, I do. I need need much rest, and the full moon is tonight, so tonight might be a very unrestful night for many. Like some people tend to be kind of not able to sleep during the full moon, restless. And it's also an eclipse. Mm-hmm. Yes, restless, very restless. So when we're not getting good sleep, then we definitely have no energy or capacity to be able to meet anything else. We can't have the energy to go work out. We can't have the energy to go do our daily tasks or eat the foods or even think about what kind of foods we're supposed to eat. All of that takes energy.
Yeah, because we're overeating usually when we're not resting because we're just trying to stay awake. I tell my clients a lot with your rest and your sleep. Maybe you're not seeing the weight loss that you're looking for because you're not sleeping. Because when we don't rest, of course, that 100%. Cortisol will, come into play here, and that will just kind of wreak havoc on what we're trying to do as far as, staying healthy and losing weight. So sleep is important, very important.
It certainly is.
Extremely important. 100% with you there. Yes.
David says, good point, Kiana, on sleep. And yes, Leanne, I told my wife it was a big full moon tonight. And he certainly did.
Yes.
Maybe you should see this moon. I could just reach out and touch it. It's so big.
So big. It's awesome.
It is.
Yes.
Well, as we prepare to wrap it up, any final words? Maybe we should go through and just share some final words as it relates to our topic tonight before we wrap it up. And if you're listening, feel free to post any questions that you may have for us before we wrap our call up. We'll be happy to address any questions or just any comments if you want to share any comments. So we'll start with you, Kiana.
Again, I just want to just stress, and maybe debunk the myth of fitness, wellness, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't have to be that hard, right? Yeah. You move, do what you enjoy, and move. And like Leanne said, breathing is a part of that as well. And like we mentioned, rest. So I just want to just drive home that point of it doesn't have to be complicated. Fitness is not complicated. Yeah. That's my final thought.
It's simple. Yes. Love it. Thank you. Leanne?
Yeah. And my last words will be, everything that you need is within the capacity of your body. And that's all you need. When you're not sure, when you're like, you need clarity, you need a moment, remember that everything is right here because that's the only place where you can exist is in this body. And so to reiterate what Kiana said, there are simple ways to take charge. And one way is breath. One way is to think about what kind of a vibration you're putting into yourself. And then also the last thing is what kind of vibration you're putting back out thusly. And then then happy holidays. Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. And my final words are be open to trying something different this year as it relates to Thanksgiving. Like we said, nobody's going to deprive themselves, right? Because then we overindulge. Have your fun, but at the same time, be wise. Take your health into your own hands. Detox your gut. Don't let that food sit in your gut. Use the celery juice, use the sea moss, use the juicing to help move that food out of your gut as quickly as possible.
Absolutely.
And with that, we will see if we have any questions. Can you all do a topic on the nervous system or the sciatic nerves? Absolutely.
Ooh,
Yes.
I like it.
We certainly
Yeah.
can.
We're like,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes. We all have things that we can offer to provide solutions for sciatic problems, sciatic nerves, or
yeah,
the nervous system. Yeah.
Pilates. Mm-hmm.
yeah. Yoga
Great things.
therapy. Oh my gosh. Anyway,
This is
absolutely.
awesome. I
Yes.
love this, ladies. This was so much fun. We have to do this
This was
again
fun.
in maybe December or January. If we can put
Yeah.
it back out there again, we have a special request for the nervous system and the sciatic nerves. So we've got some work to do.
I accept.
There's some work to do.
So we want to
Right?
wish
That's what we
everyone
do.
a happy Thanksgiving and a happy holiday. We'll probably be back on in
Yes.
December, right?
Yes.
And so we'll be sending out and posting what our next topic will be, and we'll be seeing you all back on here live sometime in the month of December. Y'all have a great night. Happy holidays.
Yes.
Bye.
Thank you. You too.
Thank
Happy
you, ladies.
holidays. Bye-bye.